I've heard people say things like, God hates me, or the Father's cursed me, or I'm cursed. And I have felt like that too. I have I have absolutely felt like that. And it is a horrible feeling. It is a very dark, depressing feeling that makes you angry. And then you want to know, well, why did you even make me in the first place? Why am I here? So I understand that feeling. And what helps me when I feel that way, again, when I talk about the word of God, I'm referring to instructions that have existed since mankind has existed. Because the Father Source, which is in control of all things, provided us with the instructions on how to create heaven on earth for ourselves, how to live an optimal life. And it's up to us to follow those instructions. And these instructions are found in every philosophy and every religion. When you take the quotes of Jesus Christ out of the Holy Bible and you read them alone and line them up with the steps that Buddhists take to reach nirvana and the steps that Hindus take to reach moksha, it's the same. To be healthy, to exercise, to eat healthy, to help people when you're able to. When you're able to and it's safe for you to. Follow your discernment. To work on yourself and to do your best at trying to embody love, peace, gratitude. And so I personally look at life like it's a video game. And for every obstacle I overcome, I level up. And that's how I see life. And this works for both the theory of we are consciousness, energy, and matter moving through space, time, and the universe, and we live in a simulation. It don't matter which one. If you look at life like it's a video game and you're just trying to win the game, it's going to work. So, and by me saying it's going to work, there are people that want to, stop me so that they can say, look, she'll know what she's talking about. And so they will find their way into my life just to wreck it so that they can say, see, she didn't know what she was talking about. So, that's not going to stop me from trying, though. I'm going to keep trying. And so far, it's been a good way of looking at life. So far, it has worked for me. So, and I don't give up. I don't give up. I keep going because the way I see it is if I give up, then I'll never really know. And then I'm going to die. Like, well, if I die out of nowhere, it's not going to matter. But if I were to get really sick and I knew that I was going to die, well, then the whole time I was waiting to die, I would think to myself, well, I shouldn't have gave up. So I don't give up. I keep going. And for each, you don't want to overwhelm yourself, and rest is very important. Rest is actually productive. You're not exactly lazy. If you rest, you're going to know what you need to do. Your body is going to speak to you. Your soul is going to speak to you. You're going to know when you need to rest. And when you do, it's actually productive to do that. Because once you rest, you're going to have a recharge of energy, and it's going to help you. And it's another one of those situations where when you look at how a slingshot works, it'll pull you back just to catapult you forward. So if you need a rest, well, that might be your pullback. But that just means you're about to be catapulted. So it's fine. Because it can be overwhelming when you're like, I just want to get to the end, I just want to get to the goal. So, but you really, you got to remember that the experience is in the moment. So if you want to enjoy the experience, you have to stay present. And I have a hard time doing that myself, but I know that it's important and I try. So you want to try to stay present to the best of your ability and just tackle small things, one small thing at a time. You're going to continue to move up. the feeling that God hates you and the Father's cursing you, if you continue to follow those instructions, like, of course, we have ups and downs, and it's natural to go into that dark place. But when you're in that dark place, be mindful and remind yourself, I got to get out of here, and start doing things to get yourself out, like go for a walk in nature, exercise, meditate, rest, do a little work on a project, or hang out with some friends, or just do something that will bring some balance into that situation. So if you're down, you want to do something that's going to lift you up. And remember to stay mindful that the goal of the video game is to, well, for me anyway, the goal for me is to create heaven on earth. There might be some people out there that got different kinds of goals, and that's fine, to each their own. My goal is to create heaven on earth. And with that being my goal, I know that when I'm in that dark place, in the depths of hell, in order to lift myself out, not only will I do like yoga or exercise or walk out in nature or something like that, but I will also remember that I need to look at the positive in everything to the best of my ability. Try to find something good that happened in every negative thing. Like everything negative that happens, try to find something good in it. Even if the good is I became stronger, I became wiser. That's it, Then that's the positive, and just stay on that. And watch a funny movie to make yourself laugh. And remember to stay in, to try to think of something that makes you feel the feeling love. To try to think of something that will make you feel the feeling joy. And if you're trying to find a place of peace, meditate. That's something else that I offer, which is hypnotic guided meditations. Keep your mind on that and continue to go, continue to try. And if you do that, Father Source and God are going to lift you out of that situation, will deliver you. You will be delivered. So when you're in a dark place, if you want to be delivered, you have to do things that are going to align you with God so that God can deliver you. And the Father is, I think the Father is going to let it happen. But then again, whatever is supposed to happen in order for existence to exist is what's going to happen, really. But, all you can do is focus on you, really. And if you are in a dark place and you want to lift yourself out, the way to do that is to do things that are going to lift you up. And you will be delivered. At least, okay, I can only speak for where I am today, and so far I've been delivered out of those dark places. I cannot tell you what's going to happen in the future. I can only speak for right now. For right now, that is the way that I've been delivered out of those dark places. And now I do believe the Father loves me. I do believe that God loves me. But I still have those moments. Like, I get it. Life is hard. It is no joke. It is no joke. We suffer just to experience life. But something else that I believe is that each individual soul on its journey, its full journey, will experience many lifetimes. And it will start at the bottom, but it works its way up, and that each individual soul has the opportunity to be a king or a queen eventually. That's actually the optimal form of existence. And that's what I believe. So I think that is the optimal form of existence. It takes many lifetimes to get to that point. And once you get there, it just depends on the condition of your soul, whether you start back at the bottom or if you return to the cosmos. But even when you return to the cosmos, we are consciousness and energy. So eventually it becomes weak. It'll burn itself out. And it has to return to this dimension where we strengthen, expand, and do it all over again. We start at the bottom and we have to work our way up again. And it takes many lifetimes to do that. And this is actually one of the roles that classism plays. Because, in the past, there have been certain teachers and prophets that are very much against the power structure. But I have grown to believe, I've learned throughout time that what I believe is it's actually there for our soul's growth. And so when I say start at the bottom and work your way up, I'm not only referring to trauma, mental illness, emotional instabilities, abusive household, but I'm talking about poverty. So you start in poverty and you live many lives, and then eventually you're going to be a king or a queen. And that's your optimal form of existence. And we all get that chance because Father Source is in all of us. And consciousness and energy is doing what it must do in order for existence to exist. And then matter will come in to hold a particular body of consciousness and energy so that it can move through space and time. So Father Source wants that experience. I believe that's why we're doing this, because otherwise I'd be pretty mad for some of the stuff I had to go through. And if this is not a true belief, fine, but it's going to help those at the bottom to believe that one day that this life was worth something. Because if you're at the bottom, and because I come from the depths of hell. I've had a very hard life. I have gone through anything bad you can think of. Drug addiction, I've been in and out of jail, abuse, all of it. And I know that there are some people that may be stuck in that place. And that can be a hopeless feeling to think that this is it for me. And there's been times when I thought, so you brought me into this life to live like this and that's it for me? And that will really put some anger inside of you. So I don't believe that. And you know what? According to the placebo, whatever I believe is real for me. So that's what I'm going to go with. I believe it is the evolutionary process for consciousness and energy. There is a collective, a universal consciousness and energy that's doing what it has to do in order for existence to exist. And then there is a collective, which is on this planet, doing what it has to do in order for us to exist. And then there's the individual. And an individual soul of consciousness and energy starts at the bottom, works its way up, has a moment as a king or queen, which is heaven on earth. And how they spend that moment, depending on the condition of their soul at the end of their reign, is what will determine if they have to do it all over again, like start at the bottom and do it all over again, or if they are able to return to the cosmos for a period of time. But this is a cycle that never ends. It's how existence is able to exist. And this is according to the theory that we are consciousness, energy, matter living in the universe. If this is a simulation, then it's going to be more like life is a video game and you want to win it to the best that you can, So it all depends on what theory you go with. I believe both of them, but I think a lot, but I try my best to stay in the present moment to the best of my ability. And I'm trying to create heaven on earth so that my present moment is really good, I'm trying. And I'm just sharing information that's helped me along the way. That's all. Of course, I'm not here to tell you what to believe. I'm just sharing my perception because I feel like I have the right to live. And I was made. I'm here. This is who I am. Why would God create me like this if he didn't want me to be like this? Or why would the Father create me like this if he didn't want me to be like this, So I'm just trying to be helpful.